So part two, remember when we build a presentation, we have those three parts, right? So the top line is our introduction and the bottom line is our conclusion. And the middle line, it doesn't say, but it's our body. It's kind of like the movie, right? Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And for the body or the main part of the presentation, we need to break it into subtopics. My strong advice is don't just tell one long story, one long idea, one long theme. It's very difficult to do that well. It's very challenging to tell one long story to get everybody interested. The audience don't know when it's going to end. And I mean that in a nice way. The audience want to manage their focus. So you can always break your presentation into this kind of structure. At the top, we have the introduction, like we did in part 1, and then we have the main topic. So this presentation is easy. It's just a company introduction. And then our subtopics, how we take the main topic and we break it into smaller parts. We're going to talk about our background, our strategy, and our future product lineup. That's it. And then the conclusion, that's part 3. So that's going to be our structure of the body, right? The middle part here, we're going to take the main idea and break it into 3 chunks. So all we do, we go in this kind of, this is a bad diagram. I have a better one later, but we open the topic and then we talk and then we close the topic. At EST, or my training, we call this open door, closed door technique. It's a little bit like high school. In high school, you go to math class, you open the door to the math class, the teacher teaches math, and then you leave the room and you close the door. And then you go to the next room, which is history. And you open the door, get the contents, and then you close the door. Same with a presentation. When you are giving a presentation, you want to help the audience, what's the word I want to use? Navigate. How to navigate your presentation. It really helps the audience connect things together and helps them not to get lost. If there's no logical navigation, it's very easy for audience members just to lose their focus, to get a little bit lost. So we open. So here we have 3 subtopics, right? Our background, our strategy, and our future product lineup. So we open the topic, we talk about it, and then we close the topic. Then we open the next topic, we talk about it, and we close the topic, and we just repeat. So opening a subtopic, pretty simple. I'd like to start by discussing, talk about it, close it. Now I'll move on to subtopic 2, talk about it, close it, and then I'll end by looking at subtopic 3. Here are just some really basic ones, okay? So of course there are more choices, but if you're a beginner and you're not so confident giving a presentation, just use these 3. They're gonna get you through most presentations. So in this case, we'd say the first one was, what was it again? Our background, our background. So we'd say, I'd like to start by discussing our background, and then blah, 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 blah. And then we close that topic. Now I'll move on to our strategy, blah, 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 blah. And then we close that topic. And I'll end by looking at our product lineup, blah, 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 blah. And then we close the topic. So that's it. That's it. Nice and simple, just like that. Discussing your key points is just your content. So I'm not going to cover that. How do we close the topic? Well, we close by saying things like, well, that's all I have to say. That's everything. That's everything I have to say about. That's all I have to say about our strategy. These phrases really help the audience mentally, logically divide and categorize your presentation. Your first part is strategy. What was it? Sorry, background. Oh God, my brain. 1 second. Okay, background, strategy, product lineup. I got it. All right, background, strategy. So my first part was background. It helps the audience understand that I'm finished talking about the background. And then I can open the next part about strategy. and then I can talk, and then I can close that part, and then I can open the final part about product lineup. So these are phrases. That's all I have to say about. I think that's everything on. That's everything I have to say about. You can use these to close one of your subtopics. So really, this is how we manage the presentation. We have our introduction coming in, and then we open the subtopic, discuss the key points, close the subtopic, and then we go around the circle maybe 3 times, depending on the number of subtopics. If we have 2 subtopics, then we go around twice, right? If we have 3 times, and then when we finish the final subtopic, we get out with the conclusion, and that's the end of the presentation. So that's really the logical structure of this presentation. Introduction, open the subtopic, discuss key point, close it, open, discuss, close, and keep going around. So this image here gives you a nice kind of flow chart to understand how to sort of organize your presentation when you get into that main part.